Thanks again, Broken Golem, always looking out for me. Hello everyone, and welcome to Worlds and Crafts. This is a stream devoted to opening the curtain of creation on setting building, where we talk about metaplots, minutiae, mechanics, all kinds of fun stuff. But where today, specifically, every Thursday at noon, we spend some time working on maps with a program that we lovingly call Midday Maps. So today we're just going to be working on this lovely map with notes from last night in Incarnate. And yeah, so I'm not sure all who's here. Here's we have Broken Golem, of course, because, you know, as always, but Adenelect, another viewer, Combat Zerg, and I see my random cat as well. Hello. Pingutio, Coxic, and Veyus. So, hello again, welcome. How's everyone doing this afternoon? While I'm waiting on a response, I'm gonna pour myself some coffee. By the way, my lovely partner, I think you're listening, if you want coffee, it's in the big room. I'm gonna hydrate with some bean juice, alright? Welcome, your big dad. How you doing today? Tea? Close enough. I've also got a giant cup of water here. Nice! Yeah, this is a good and fortuitous time to be working on maps. Why do you hate making modern setting maps? I'm not, like, questioning your reasoning, just curious. Ah, I see. You know, I understand what you're saying, but also there's something that I find fun, not about the map making part, but about imagining those places in modern settings under the influence of whatever, you know, setting you're working with, like World of Darkness. Does it feel like a D&D dungeon, just like with modern stuff? Like, welcome to Dungeon World. Capitalism Edition. So today I was slightly delayed in starting stream because I was having a pretty low-key morning. Yeah, you can't forget that. Hey there, Patrick. How you doing today? Don't forget the cell phone kiosk. God, don't remind me of those. Man, now I'm just remembering all of the people I knew from the call center that went and worked in those kiosks. And, like, I lived near the mall when I was working there, so, like, I saw them constantly. The entire mall. Phone kiosks. The whole thing. Aisles of phone kiosks. Do you want Sprint? No. Do you want Verizon? No. Do you want AT&T? No. Do you want Bit? Whatever the heck? Oh, a strip mall. Fair enough. Well, either way, I had a slow start to my morning, but now, you know, into the afternoon because I'm a late riser. But so I've got my, like, entire jubilee of of breakfast stuff sitting next to me. Crushing the U.S. economy with the gears of healthcare IT. Oh yeah, delightful. Let's not talk about that. So I was kind of thinking initially that I want to start with the forest because it's easiest. I just put a bunch of trees and make some things. But I realized we didn't really detail out any of the forest, so I'm actually going to not go with that. I think what I'd rather do is start with one of the cities because we definitely got more into that. You know, the city on the bluff is the most detailed. But then again, there's also the city on the back of the giant gator. Those are the two most well detailed out things here. Let's just make some decisions. I mean, that's where you gotta start, right? Just gotta make some decisions. Start looking at our stamps. For anyone who's just joining us, this mapping program is Incarnate, which is free to use, and if you spend $25 a year, you get a lot more out of it, like access to like 4K maps and such. It's pretty cool. It is intuitive and robust. It is not like, say, as robust as some more devoted tools, but that are also significantly less intuitive. Let's see. Human city elements. What's that? But that's boring. I don't want that. Graveyard statues. Graveyard. That's fun. Floating islands. Fun. Market. Village. Stone docks. Stone bridges. Lots of bridges. More docks. Are you talking about the less intuitive thing? So there is, yeah. There's a lot of tools out there for making RPGs and making things related to RPGs. It just so happens that a lot of them are designed by RPG fans and RPG designers. They're not designed by people who have a degree in UI. So there's that. That's a cute little single city model. But then again, there's a citadel. Let's see here. Well, this is a regional map, so I can probably make the cities reasonably large. So that means I can probably just use individual buildings, and also can't forget walls. So I think I'm gonna start with some walls. Stone walls. I'm gonna select that stamp. And wait for Incarnate to remember that it has life inside of it somewhere. Those are far too large. I'm going to need to shrink those. Just bring those down. I actually don't know if you guys on stream can see the little ghosty looking stamp before I place it. But it was huge. Still way too large. It was 25. That's a little better. That still is very large, but that works. Maybe we should do the city on the bluff. So in order to do that, I think we should put them over here somewhere, maybe by this mountain pass. So to accomplish that, the first thing I really want to do is change my landforms. So I'm actually going to go away from the wall stamp, and I'm going to go to cliffs. Cliffs. And the cliffs are going to have to go back up in size. I'm going to go up to 50. But now I need to show all... Oh, I was like, where's my stamp selector? It's over here. I closed it like a smart person. This dialogue is very helpful. Okay. So I'm gonna place some stamps, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna make it happen. Yeah. Okay. And something that I want to remark about Incarnate that I really enjoy is So when I had first started working with Incarnate, I was pretty loath to do things like this, like overlap stamp over the shoreline. But something I swiftly realized is, hey, you can change the shoreline to match it later. It's fantastic. Makes life much easier. That's not the direction I want. I think I honestly want to do some layered stamps right here. Give some, I'm gonna bring this forward to layer 2. Hey, I said layer 2. You sassy piece of garbage. Bring you forward. Oh, I can do this. There we go. Oh, there's negative layers. Wow, how did I not know about that? Bran is smart. Alright, let's rotate that a little bit. There we go. That looks better. Now it looks like a very imposing cliff. A large cliff. And as previously mentioned, you can just go back in and change things. So I'm going to do that. But I'm going to, and I highly recommend this, not select the edgy thing. Select the circle brush. Because otherwise, if I do edgy, it's going to make these little weird thingies all over the place because I'm working in fine detail. So now we're going to make ourselves a new shoreline. Boom. Not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. Highlights and lowlights make everything look perfect. And I think having this little shore area here is lovely, so. But wait! There's more! I need to drink more coffee. It's still too damn hot. And no, I will not, under any circumstance, put creamer on my coffee. How dare you suggest it? That's too damn hot. That's how I feel about summer. Okay, so I can hardly see these, but I know them kind of by heart. There's some north-facing cliffs. I should say viewer-facing away cliffs that are quite nice too. So if we wanted to add like a lovely, strange, I don't know what to call it other than a ramp. I do think it would be fun if the city on the bluffs, the reason why it's, up here is that it's a very defensible corner of the world with only a couple entrances. Because why else would you build a city on a bluff? I suppose if you're completely jaded and rich, maybe you'd build a city on a bluff because you thought it would be pretty. And that the engineering feats required to make it happen were absolutely necessary. Either that or you're a world builder. Like me. No, thank you. These stamps are really, once you kind of get the hang of how you can futz with them, they look really good, honestly. I'm perpetually impressed by this program. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to the cliffs that I did the mountains, where you add lowlights. Fair. The cape is such a funny thing. It's like a little fish hook. Or rather, a giant fish hook, I should say. But you kind of want to refer to it as a little because Cape Cod just is, I don't know. It's got small energy, in my opinion. That's probably because I don't think very highly of all the tourists, but that's a conversation for another day. I'm gonna continue to add more cliffs here because you can always take them out. That's not what I want. How about this one? Huh. Lake Ontario's water level dropped over the ages. Can you qualify what you mean by ages? Because I have a lot of ideas there about what that could mean. Ooh, idea. River Valley. Actually, I kind of broke my cardinal rule of map making. That's just because I was in a hurry. Which is, you're supposed to come up with the rivers before anything else. But I think this is fine because I'm only setting elevation-based land masses anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal. Elevation? Yeah, elevation. Making sure I'm using the right word. And welcome to Mizahari. Or Mizari? Mizari? Do 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 do. Ah, it's Lily France. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, like misery. Misery? Like misery or okay, fair enough. And yes, hello, hello, Lily France. How are you today? Yeah, I won't fret over it. I just like phonetics. Enjoy them. In my brain, it's my sorry. Or yeah. That's the wrong stamp. That's the right one. I think we need. God, my mouse is really trolling me. There we go. Okay. So, I've never played the Old Republic. I am of the age where I was really into Knights of the Old Republic once upon a time. But that was like my biggest Star Wars binge as far as video games went. No, that's a lie. I'm sorry. I spent countless hours playing the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Hey, Carrying Comfort Studios, welcome, welcome. And all you missed was me fumbling around because I also just woke up. And I was building cliffs and breaking my cardinal rule of map making. And I might end up changing these cliffs later if I think they look ugly, but that's the beauty of Incarnate. You can always delete things. I mean, I feel like that's just the beauty of computers. You can always delete things. How dare you? There we go. See, and you know, I've had people say something similar to that before. That the Old Republic was the only MMO they ever really liked. And as someone who famously dislikes most MMOs, I have a hard time with MMOs. It's a rough experience. Oh God, what did I do? Oh, that's what I did. I feel like this pass is laughing at me. It needs to be smaller. There we go. Yeah, Rutro. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so again, for those who've just joined, this is Incarnate, and it's a great program. So definitely go and utilize. There's a link right there. The one I'm using right now is a fantasy regional map, and it is a 4K map, so it is experimental in this software. And it can, in fact, eat your computer for breakfast. I'm joking. It really won't. It's just sometimes the tab freezes up and crashes, so just you like need to save if you're using experimental stuff. But their core product, really solid. Like, never crashes. Broken Golem, did you have to ask Ian? Big shout out to one of our founders, Ravnos, Ian. The lexicon of all things Gehenna Gaming. Wow, you just threw me for a loop, Big Dad. I forgot Wildstar existed. Even though it was something I was like, oh, that looks fun, that looks cool. Was it though? No, I'm kidding. No, I definitely heard good things about it. So, one of my favorite MMOs before it completely and 170% shit the bed, because no one wanted to play it apparently, was Warhammer Online: Age of Reckoning. Now, I never got a chance to play the Old Republic, but I did play Warhammer Online a bit. And I honestly enjoyed it. I thought that the game design was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think the thing that was really enjoyable about it was that their creative director didn't necessarily care what GW had already done so much as just give me the essence of what these people are, and let's make them relatable and also fun. And the mechanics were really well designed. And that was one of the big selling points for me. Is a lot of MMOs to me always felt like, you have a new ability. Congratulations, you now have 700 abilities. And it's like, what am I doing with this? What do I do? I'm lost. God, I'm drowning in a sea of abilities and passives. I hated it. Absolutely loathed it. It was just the worst design. You're like, what, who approved this? And I understand why they did it, because they were trying to monopolize on... Well, right, yeah. We've rebalanced everything. But the game's been out for 2 days. Yes, I know. We had it planned the whole time. We just didn't tell you. Yeah, I very rarely could justify spending money on MMOs. The first MMO I ever played, though, was, in fact, EverQuest. But it was the PlayStation version that came out when I was a teenager. I think it was called EverQuest Online Adventures or something like that. And so it was EverQuest, but it was just console made. At the time, that was good shit to me. I played the hell out of that. Okay. I'm gonna stop futzing around the cliffs right now because I'm probably overdeveloping it. So let's just add our delightful little lowlights. Smaller. There we go. Oh, my opacity's up too high. I'm also gonna make a save. Ah, hello, Evelyn. How are you doing today? It is Bran. I'm here every Wednesday and Thursday. The Thursday thing is pretty recent, and fun story. So I had talked to our lovely founders about doing a Thursday stream because it was open, and I said, okay, I'll do it. But then apparently that wasn't really received, like, mentally, like, you know, I mean, because sometimes, quite frequently, I lose information all the time inside my own silly brain, or just don't know if people were actually serious for whatever reason, or like didn't realize that I was completely dead serious and that I was going to do it, because I didn't really give them a start date. I just kind of did it. And so they're like, oh, you did this thing. I'm like, yeah, I did. Rip. So it was an unofficial. So for those who were here last Thursday for midday map making, it was some rogue map making, guys. We went rogue. I know, I'm so bad, aren't I? Now all I can think of is Freaky Fred from Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I thought to myself that I was feeling naughty. God, that episode was like positively the least terrifying, and at the same time the worst, most terrifying. Do you got any people in the house who used to watch some Courage once upon a time? Oh yeah. Oh man. That episode was that mortified me when I was younger. I was just like, no, no. Oh, lovely. Well, if you're fond of child-friendly horror, that's Courage the Cowardly Dog. And when I say child, I mean young person. Evelon, this is Incarnate. I haven't done hex mapping, but this is capable of it. If you remind me in a little bit, I can actually just give you guys a little tour of Incarnate. I just want to finish with these lowlights, and place some stamps. Place some more stamps, maybe work on rivers really, because I got ahead of myself and was like, we should work on a city, and I was like, oh wait, I need to work on landforms and rivers. Currently, this whole thing I'm doing right now, where I'm just smudging brown all over the map, is I'm trying to ground these cliffs to the actual background a little bit, and you definitely can accomplish that by doing lowlights like this, especially on the bottom, but also on the top, because it makes it seem like there is contrast and shadow and that there are highlights, and therefore that these are in fact physical objects on the map. They're not just floating little stamps. The free version should have more than mountain stamps. It should have quite a bit, actually. I'm not sure what's included in it anymore, because when I joined Incarnate, it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3. And I just immediately bought premium because it's $25 a year. I was just like, I can't say no to that. These people make a great product, and I had the money to do it, so I did it. I don't know how they make money, to be honest. Except for maybe by pure volume of people. I assume that most of this is client side rather than server side. And I don't want to get into tech talk, and I'm not even that great at it. I just know a little bit. But I feel like quite a bit of it must be client side, and then it's probably saved in a format on their server that doesn't take up a lot of space. It must be either that or they have huge servers. But again, how do they pay for it? And people are paying $25 a year. Crazy. Brilliant, but crazy. I think the last time I saw something that was that cheap was when Xbox Live first came out. It was like $50 a year. And I was just like, yep, definitely can't say no to that. A secure service? That's fair. Yeah, I just immediately dump. I go for yearly whenever I can, because it's always cheaper. And I am not a Flash person. I don't have a lot of money. Cool. So let's talk about rivers. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my mask tool. I'm gonna use the subtract function. And I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it's the shape circle, not the edgy shape. That's fair. Spend some time playing with the free version. Really, it's quite good. And you get all the same. You can still get all the same experience dealing with it before then. But yeah, so for making rivers, I'm just gonna take the mask tool, the circle shape, and then I'm gonna subtract. And I'm also just gonna bring this down to probably 2, size 2 brush. So I never had really thought too much about how rivers formed until this lovely set of videos I watched about it. I was like, well, that makes sense. They form from runoff from rain. So reliable, or from melt, So from these mountains here, there's probably quite a lot of water that melts off during different times of year. And due to the way landforms tend to roll, they could go really anywhere. So ultimately, when making a map here, what we want to do is we want to choose a point where we think the largest amount of water would come from for this particular stream, whatever it is, and then just make it happen. So I might undo this, but I'll just do one up here. I'm gonna start inside the mountain, so that way it looks like it's behind the mountain, like it should be. And I'm just gonna go around, and I'm gonna make sure to wiggle it back and forth, and try and make it a little organic. If it doesn't look great, we can always start over. And if I futz around too much with this and get it wrong, I can always move my stamps, change things. And we're gonna make the outlet right there. Cool. So at the moment, that just looks like Garbo, but it's just our base starting point. Yes, sir. I should start talking like an orc peon from Warcraft 3. I don't know if I can do it right now. Something you do. Nope. Not today, kids. Okay, so that doesn't look stellar. This lovely little river. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna undo that and start over, and I'll probably be less wobbly with it. Because I can always add more bends when we widen it. Going back to the master school, I am gonna start right here in this little valley and just kind of go out and around these mountains. There we go, that looks a little better. And I do like the winding in here, because it's implied that the land is quite rocky or uneven. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So now, I'm going to take a size 1. And I'm going to go in from other places in the mountains. And I'm going to just tack them on. Everywhere that that water would flow from. So, I mean, you know, water definitely flows down into the valleys and gathers there and flows out. So there's 2 coming from there. But then there's also from this side up here. So let's go ahead and just add a little stream going down. And sometimes you can, for visual reasons, add too many of these. You know, it definitely happens. I'm going to add one right here. Yes. Why are you poking me again? Yep. Why don't you lead an army instead of touching me? Poke, poke, poke. Is that all you do? God, I gotta wonder who did the original voices for those Once Upon a Time. A long, long time ago. I could still remember how those stupid orcs used to make me smile. Okay, I had another fun thought just now. So, what if the we had some water coming down from up in here, kind of flowed down and cruised along land and rejoined with this bad boy. This bad boy. And then this one right here. Fuck. I messed that up. Zoom in. And undo. And wait for it to undo. And then save changes. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Let's go from in here. Meow. Boom. There we go. From within the crevasses, from within the shadows. It's where the rivers come from. And so I'm probably gonna go ahead and... You know what? I just made a decision. I'm just gonna interrupt myself to chop this off. Boop boop. No, I want size. Let's say 45. That'll work. Goodbye. There. Yeah. 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 This is the mountainous region over here. Very, very rocky, very hilly. Okay. Going back to river making. So then, I want to add one more little stream, probably coming down and joining this one. Alright, so now I've got quite a lot of water runoff going here. I think water from these mountains probably wouldn't run off except from the backside, so maybe I'll add one more little thing. There. And, actually, we're gonna add one last element here, which I think would be quite fortuitous. I'm gonna make my thingy a little bigger, and right where this bend in the river is, I'm honestly just gonna add a lake. I'll make that a little smaller so I can be choppy with the edges of it. Something that I noticed makes for a really compelling map is things overlapping each other. You know, like these mountains overlapping that. Like from afar, that looks kind of cool. Like, oh, there's a lake back there, guys. What is hidden? It kind of sparks that little interest. Even though this right here up close kind of looks a little shitty. Let's add a nice little divot there. Cool. So we've got a lake. The lake runs off down into the into this lovely river valley. This is a gathering point for all that. I'm gonna keep the subtract tool going, and now that it's a size 3, I think from about this point I'm gonna drag down. God, these borders stink. Let's change the effects of our... There it is. Okay. Default presets. We could do light ripples. Ah, dark ripples. So dark ripples is currently on, and so we could do no ripples, light. That actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty neato. Though, I would personally be rid of... I'm gonna just undo a bunch of things so I can change the way this looks. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I didn't want mask effects. Yeah, it was mask effects. All right. So the no ripples light. That did look pretty good. No ripples dark. For regional, that might... No, that's too dark. I think for the moment we're gonna go with no ripples light and just keep it at that. So these are some settings you can change in Incarnate under mask effects. You know, and you can customize them however you want. So the way that the stroke affects the land around it and all this kind of stuff, it can be certainly changed. And like I can add a ripple effect to it, even though I said there wasn't one. So like we can change the width down to like 0.2. And that's of each one, and then the count of the ripples. Hang on, it's loading. There we go. The count of the ripples, let's just do 2 as well. See what that looks like. That's looking pretty cool. Let's make the gap a lot smaller. It's currently loading. I kind of just want this to look Neato. Alright. I think I will change that back to probably 0.5. Because that's just the thickness of the ripples themselves. And I'm gonna save the 20 changes I just made. Because I don't feel like losing that. We can futz around with this more later, so I probably won't mess with it too much right this moment. Cool. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. The son of a biscuit. I love when I click the pan zoom tool and I fuck it up. So I think the last thing I want to do with this is I do want to make this river slightly larger. This one coming down out of the lake. I think that would be a good thing. A good and fun and useful thing is a wide river. And I don't know if you notice, I'm not being perfect about this, and I think that is typically a good thing when it comes to things like rivers. I mean, water is not exactly known for its perfectionist tendencies. So fighting the urge to make the perfectly smooth-looking river is, honest to God, a really good thing. Like, don't let yourself fall into the trap. And I think I'll go ahead and bring this down to a 1 and just kind of stroke, make some strokes here. Yes. Okay. You know, and I realized last night I said from 12 to 2, but last session of this session, sorry, it was a session that I did of this. I ended up doing 12 to 1, and I don't actually know what I said the official thing would be, so I should probably check that. Check what my calendar says. Calendar. I love that if you any word that ends in like er or ar, if you just change the way you pronounce it, it automatically just sounds like someone's fantasy elvish name. What the crap is my calendar? Oh, right there. Calendar. Yep, this is set to 12 to 2. So unless something interrupts us, we have a bit more time. But in either scenario, I want to take a quick break, stretch my legs, go check on the dogs because they're shouting. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. And I realized that I'm also really dark on camera. I'm sorry, guys. I'll turn on some lights. So we'll be back shortly, and have a good day, Broken Golem. Thank you for being a stellar mod. But yeah, we'll be back. And remember, folks, Black Lives Matter. And we are back. Had to run and take the dogs out. I just realized something. I need to shift some things around a little bit. That's a little better. Okay. There. Now you guys can see the actual zoom bar that I have. Perfect. All right. So I don't know if I didn't really explain it, but a moment ago. Excuse me, one moment. I'm really sorry about that, guys. So there was definitely, excuse me, dog problems. I actually have to go. I have to end the stream early. I'm really sorry about this. So I'll make it up to you guys. I'll go ahead and post up some maps, and maybe we can do just kind of a chill stream another day when we just have some free time. But I hope you guys have a lovely afternoon, and everything's gonna be okay. I just have to go take care of it. So thank you guys for joining us today, and if you don't already follow Gehenna Gaming, please do so on on Twitter and on Facebook. I think it's just the social. Make sure to check out Incarnate, the maps, yep, and also join our Discord. We are lovely people to talk to. We have all kinds of events we run. We stream every single day, so please join our community and enjoy more of our content, and give us feedback if you want to see more things. We're always welcome new ideas. So everyone have a lovely day. Thank you so much. And remember, creating is better with friends. And as always, game on.